Why, hello there. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're doing just peachy keen, and I hope that you're having an absolutely fan-diddly-astic day with waving and all that good stuff. Sometimes the cat does a thinking, a stinking thinking, and other times he does a thinking and it goes, whoop. But I have been thinking about something for a little while now, and I figured, why not share it during my spirituality video? Because, sometimes they go together. It seems to me that mankind, humanity, as I've now spent a good amount of time with humanity, is the species which is perpetually hungry, and in which the vast majority of people behave in such ways that they can get away with. It is society which dictates to them what is good and what is bad, and they largely just stay within those parameters. Like, ooh, golden rune. I don't think I need that, but But it is largely society which determines those parameters for them. They don't determine them by themselves. They don't investigate largely. Sometimes they'll investigate a little, but rarely do they really push boundaries. You know what I mean, Jimmy Dean? And one of the things that's very interesting to me is I was kind of thinking about like the grand history of mankind and how if you really pay attention, there's basically it's fairly consistent. There are moments of upheaval and moments of change, but largely humans, even when there is new technology, even when there are new rules and things like that, will largely behave the same as they once did. The vast majority of people will simply live their lives, often discovering their own meaning if they choose to have any. Often it'll be determined in some way, shape, or form by the society in which they happen to exist. There will be constant. There will be a search for comfort. There will be a search for meaning, but in many cases, what you see is that people are willing to betray one another. People are willing to hurt one another. People are willing to discard certain people as enemies and as being this lava pretty as being beneath them. They'll make these selective they'll have like selective ideas about like what does it mean to truly be a part of the society. There's almost always someone that they will determine is in some way, shape, or form an outsider, right? Oop, I meant to roll there, did not roll. Oh well. Sometimes they'll send you into a weird chamber of goo like this. I'd prefer it if they didn't, though, because, I mean, honestly, who wants to be in these goo chambers? Oh, nope. Gosh dang it. I meant to roll again. It's like sometimes when I have the shield up, she just doesn't want to roll. She's just like, nah, I'm just gonna stick here, I'm just gonna stick it out. This is a good little trip inside the weird monster vagina creature. As you do. But there's this perpetual hunger which resides in mankind. There is never enough. A perpetual desire to control and to dominate and to also gain advantage in power. And those that get their power, they will do almost anything to maintain their power. You know, I was reading about Julius Caesar and specifically the assassination of what? That did not look like a grab attack to me, but alrighty. Like, specifically, though, it was about, like, the, assassination of Julius Caesar and a materialist analysis of it. And he was talking in the book about how it seems that the real reason... Ow. The real reason that people... Are you all just going to burst like that? I guess I should stop killing. They're not even really doing anything, are they? Lots of grab attacks here. But it's okay. But how, one of the real things that doomed Julius Caesar was that he took power away, at least a little bit of power away from the wealthy and the elite. And even though he was willing to, after he vanquished certain foes, he was willing to give them new, he was willing to give them new positions within the government. And he took his enemies and he gave them new positions in order to try and kind of like stave off like the blood feuds and that sort of thing. And, you know, in hopes that people would like him and come around to his point of view. But it turns out that even a little bit less power than what one had before is, for many, especially once they have become the elite, is simply not worth risking and not worth giving up in any way, shape, or form. I'm guessing with that egg on your head, you can't necessarily see the greatest. But, and you know, what's very interesting to me, especially the more I go through this, is that it seems to me that one of the greatest things about religion, and not necessarily just religion, but philosophy as well to a certain extent, is that they can help you rise beyond the human frailty that is like constantly seeking after power, that is constantly seeking to, you know, dominate and to proclaim the greatness of each individual. And one can look past their we might call it natural selfishness, so that they might, in fact, you know, rise beyond and become something that is better than what they were previously. Like, one of the glorious things about religion is that, you know, it seems to me that if you looked at the state of the world, it is fairly obvious that simply pursuing wealth and things like that does not lead to happiness. If you've ever met truly wealthy people, they never seem happy. They just seem like they're always on edge. At least to me. You know, like, they have that happiness on the surface where it's like, ah, yes, I'm so happy, and, oh, man, look at all the things my wealth has done for me. But then when you, like, examine them, when you examine the things that they do, and like the constant hunger and fear of like, oh, I don't want to lose my power, and all that stuff, it seems to me fairly obvious that No, I want, I think I want Ingval. Ingval's pretty cool. Hmm. It doesn't actually tell me what the difference is between these two guys. I don't even remember with it. I haven't summoned them in a while. I think I could take Roykart on my own, but at the same time, I wish to have Buddy. Friend. Come, friend. This represents the greed and selfishness of man. Let us destroy it. But yeah, religion and philosophy can aspire. Hey, stop it. Can inspire us to sort of like go beyond okay, maybe not. It's been a while since I fought this guy. I'm beginning to wonder if focusing on that head is actually a good idea. Oh, can I just not block? I maybe just can't block that attack. Understandable, I suppose, considering the man's size. Alright, well, let's do this. Ow. I would prefer it if you didn't do that. Yeah, this just seems like it's gonna take a long time. You know. But yeah. Like, if you were to look at the world, it seems to me like, in some sense, it's like supposed to be almost like a lesson. Oh. Gosh dang it. Oh, great. I didn't get the chance to get to him in time before... This begins to feel like the boss of minor annoyance. Yes. Actually, does the Serpent Slayer Spirit do more damage to this guy? It might. Oh. Oh, jeez. Sippy sippy. Indeed. Angry. But you know, like, religion will tell you that you need to overcome your hatred and your delusion. Right? Religion it will, you know, give you various different ways to do that. You know, maybe if you're just like a regular old mainline Protestant or Christian, you might have, for instance, Yeah, I know. You're gonna turn into a weird snake goo. No. Ow. You know. I'm assuming the fire, like, follows him? Hello? Yeah, it does. Very annoying. Hmm. I literally cannot see what is going on. Anytime you want to stop. Oh. Yeah, well, that's unfortunate. I don't really want to fight that again. Mostly because it was very boring. I mean, I don't know, are you supposed to specifically use the one thing on him? Do you actually have to use that thing? Because that just, I don't want to do that, really. It doesn't seem like it does anything in particular. I guess I can see, maybe if that makes it faster. Ah, man, I haven't fought this guy in ages because I have never had any desire to come down here and deal with this person. It's because he sounds kind of silly. You know, like you're trying to take a boss fight seriously, and there's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay. Okay. Alright, well, here. I'll hit him with it just to see if it does anything. Oh, I get it now. Oh. Ow. Yeah, anytime. I understand now. I feel silly. I should have remembered that. It hasn't been that long since I fought this guy. Oh, but I guess you gotta be at the right distance. Okay. Okay. Never mind. I feel dumb for fighting him that way the first time. Oh well. Hey, stop it. Who told you that you're allowed to do? Okay. Yeah, that makes way more sense, I guess. Well, you had a cool weapon like that. How did you not beat him the first time? As in, like, the guys who came here before me. I feel silly, but you know, religion will also give you guidances and show you things. And, you know, I think if you look at the world, one of the interesting things you'll see, for instance, especially once you see, like, how, like, unsatisfied, like, people who are very wealthy are, once you start to see... This thing has a range on it. Jeez Louise. This might actually make this guy like one of the easiest. Well, I guess you gotta try a little bit. Because he has these really big attacks. And like if you didn't have like the really high level and cool armor and stuff that I have on this character, I guess it would be a lot. It would be a lot harder. Okay, you gotta be... The only thing you gotta be careful of is if you get too close with the lava, then he doesn't... Then it just keeps blocking your attack. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, there. Is this the first Great Rune character I beat? Thank you, friend. Very good. That's factually incorrect, but okay. Thank you. But you can see, like, the world kind of points you away from it in its own interesting way, because if you, like, really investigate the world, like, the physical world, and you really investigate and you see the material conditions of the people, if you see the material conditions of even those who have success and power, and if you see, you know, for instance, like, cruelty does not benefit people, it tends to really harm them. You can see that there are things, like, within the natural world itself that point you towards a religious reality of, like, okay, so detachment from the physical gratification is actually a good thing. You can see the examples in swamis and monks and various other people, and you can see the people who you also get to see something very interesting, which is that there are some people who are just surface level detached, and then you look into their lives and you see, oh, well, that person who claimed to be a swami actually had all this stuff and actually had all of this you know, all this wealth, and you know, there's also the, like, certain Buddhist monks who will claim to have, like, who to be... Do I have to come back here to see his gooey head? I think I do. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, I feel very silly for fighting that way. But, you know, like, that's another thing that you get to see sometimes, is that, like, hey, sometimes you just gotta try the silly Billy way, and then you'll see that there is the truth. And there is greater existence and pleasure and happiness within the bosom of Ma Kali. Or sometimes you'll see that there is, you know, the truth in, like, something like Advaita Vedanta, and it will guide you to, like, you know, a certain amount of renunciation. And, you know, what's interesting is even in, like, paths like Tantra, where you use pleasure and desire to move you closer to God, there is actually still renunciation. It's just of a different kind. You're renouncing the pleasure for the pleasure's sake, and you're actually bringing God closer, because you're renouncing the pleasure for pleasure's sake, and you're doing it for God. You know, lots of little things like that. You can also see, like, you know, if you're an executive and you make tons of money, do you ever met a happy one of those? They never tend to be happy. They tend to be projecting, like, crazy taxis, and, you know, things like that. This is all just stuff I think it's important to consider, and important to consider the nature of the world and how it points us towards religion, and how in religion you can find peace, or even just in philosophy, or like meditation, or like just plain old detachment. There's a lot of peace to be found. And I just want to say, just because it's distracting to me, like, why does he still have chandeliers in here? You're a giant snake monster, but you're like, no, I still need my fancy chandeliers. I mean, I guess, if that's just what you're really after, my dude. But hey, whatever, man. Anyway, I hope that you're all having an absolutely wonderful day, and I hope you enjoyed my little TED talk there about physicality and the nature of the world and all that other stuff. And I really hope that you will put a little bit of detachment in your life and maybe put a little bit of yourself into trying to find a higher goal, whether that be God or, just inner peace or whatever. Remember, it's very much worth it. And you can see that the people who have truly achieved those things, it was definitely worth it for them. Look at someone like Ramakrishna and see the bliss on his face. Anyway, I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful day. Bye, love you, bye. God loves you, bye. Bye, love you, bye.